and gentlemen, we are in the first week of October. That means the month of September has come and gone. That means it is time for Thomas Wolfe to let us know which 5 stars in the world of wrestling, or somehow connected to wrestling, however he deems fit, because it's his fucking top 5. Who is Thomas's top 5 of the month of September?
And this time I ain't going over the rules, I'm just jumping right into stuff.
Yeah, if you want rules,
go watch
the other ones.
I've talked about the rules every single other time.
Thomas Wolfe.
But this time I'm just jumping in with number 5.
Oh,
it's 2 guys. Gable and Jordan.
Yeah.
These guys have just been impressive. Especially Gable. But Jason Jordan just kind of...
JJ.
He's just there.
JJ.
He's with him. He assists him in doing the cool little double team backdrop.
Yeah.
No, Jason Jordan, he's someone on NXT who I've always liked, but never
had something to latch on to.
Right, like, he was good.
Him and Ty Dillinger weren't enough for you.
Yeah, they were like an alternate version of Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas.
Well, that's what Gable and Jordan are too.
Yeah, but with Gable.
Gable looks more so like Charlie Haas than Ty Dillinger.
No, they do.
There's more charisma going on in this one than there was in Jordan and Dillinger.
Yeah. Like,
and now Dillinger's doing great things by himself.
Yeah. But I mean, that's where I get the Benjamin and Haas comparisons. It's 2 guys, 2 amateur wrestlers, very similar body types.
One's black, one's white.
Yeah, I was going to gloss over that fact, but...
Yeah, but Kevin Hawks here, we're not glossing over anything.
It's there. 2 amateur wrestlers, similar body types, similar wrestling styles, opposite skin colors.
There you go.
No real charisma, just talented in-ring. So that's where the comparison came from.
Right.
Gable adds a different dynamic to the team with the charisma, with the catchphrase, with Jordan being able to play off it like, I don't really want to do this.
It's kind of like if you would have taken Team Angle and then kicked Charlie Haas out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you would have had Kurt Angle, who was the only one out of them that really had any mic skills. And if you just had Kurt Angle and Shelton Benjamin making a
Shelton
weird
Benjamin
team.
on the mic is responsible for one of the lines that I will never forget in wrestling.
And that is?
There was an episode of Monday Night Raw, and Eric Bischoff had the entire roster like surrounding the ring, and he was talking about like who's going to be the next star of the company or something. And Carlito first speaks, and he's talking about how he's the greatest superstar ever, and he's going to be the guy to take the reins and lead Monday Night Raw going forward. And Shelton Benjamin just takes the mic from him and he's, "Are you high?"
And the answer is, he probably was.
Probably.
Anyway.
Back to Jordan and Gable.
Yeah. So, they're a really good team. They've got something going. They've got an actual gimmick going on. And they've been doing great in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic.
Yep.
And that's what's earned them the number 5th spot on my top 5. So, the next on my list is Chris Jericho!
Hey! Chris Jericho's always on here because Thomas Wolfe loves him.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho invented the top 5.
No, I did, but Chris Jericho invented me, so it's...
So,
by proxy.
Yeah, by proxy, he invented the top 5.
But, okay, so...
Fair enough.
It was the match at what I keep wanting to call Beast in the East that made me put him on here.
Because live at monosodium glutamate?
Yeah. Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens, while it wasn't the best match I've seen even recently, it made me appreciate how good a veteran like Chris Jericho is at making not just every move count, but all the moments in between the moves count. And you could really feel everything he did.
Yeah. Jericho's got a good way of hitting the little nuances in matches.
To me, it really illustrated the difference between someone like Cena, who is a really good wrestler and works up to his opponent constantly, but isn't quite at the level of someone like Chris Jericho, who can add all these little touches to just make you care about every section of the match.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why Chris Jericho is number 4th Number 4th.
Who's
God
number 3rd?
damn it. Number 3rd is Bayley.
Hey, another person that Thomas Wolfe loves.
Bayley is my best friend.
Oh.
And I don't know her, but
But if you did, you guys would be best friends.
I'm pretty sure if I met her and I was like, hey, can I be your best friend? She'd probably be like, okay.
Yeah.
And then we would tweet.
You might
all
have
the
to
time.
take. You might have to take second best friend to Izzy.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Izzy's got like. Izzy
Okay.
got a tour of the
no.
Performance Center.
Okay, so
She's
I
always
would
from
ask her
NXT.
if she would be my best friend.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
It's slightly
Can I choose you as my best friend?
Yeah.
It's like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Bayley, I choose you.
different. Right.
Bayley used.
No.
Okay, it was super effective.
Bayley's great, but what's really great is the match she had against Sasha
Yeah.
at Takeover.
Fuck you.
But the reason she's on here isn't even that. The reason she's on here, and this is the first time I'm doing it, probably the only time I'm doing it, is for the match they're going to have at the next Takeover. Because I already know that's going to be the match of the night.
It's the main event. It's an Iron Man match.
Yeah, Iron Maiden match.
Yeah.
Iron Lady.
No, not Iron Maiden. We talked about this. That's dangerous.
No, like the band.
They're gonna wrestle Iron Maiden.
No,
they're
they're-
gonna play the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like Mad Max.
30 minutes of Iron Maiden's greatest hit.
It's 1.5 songs they're gonna play in a half hour.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just Bayley, along with the rest of the 4 horsewomen on NXT, really revolutionized women's wrestling in this era. They really put it on the map. And even if the main roster hasn't quite caught up to what they're doing, it's still building something great. And it's still moving forward, even without Charlotte or Paige, who's not been around for a while. But, you know,
Yeah.
Charlotte, Paige, Becky, even without them, even with Sasha still kind of holding down the fort to finish off with Bayley, and Bayley being the front runner of the new wave of divas, it's still looking in a really good position.
Yeah, and I think the great thing about having Bayley as the front runner now and as the champion is rather than having these dominant divas that we've had, like Charlotte and like Sasha, we now have the sympathetic babyface champion where, you know, we're going to watch her get her ass kicked and then have that comeback moment rather than, oh, she's going to be able to just kick the shit out of everyone she goes up against. It's a whole different dynamic, and we get a different type of story when we're talking about a title storyline here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I'm most excited about, is that, you know, we're not getting the same, I'm the champion, I'm dominant, oh, someone came along, I lose my title.
Yeah.
Now it's Bayley has to constantly try and work harder to keep the championship.
Yeah.
And she plays it perfectly. I mean, we saw her against Mary Dobson about a week or two ago, and she was great.
Yeah.
And, you know, it works for that storyline, and I'm excited to see who she ends up running a title storyline against.
Yeah. And so I don't even need to look at my notes for the next one because I remember it.
Number 2!
It's actually, I would have done this in reverse order. I just kind of thought about this next person after Bayley. Sasha.
Yeah.
Also, for all the things we just said about Bayley, minus the being champion part,
Yeah.
Sasha's on there too.
Yeah.
I don't have anything really else to say.
Sasha is awesome. She was a great champion.
She's the boss.
She's been the perfect match for anyone that she's faced
Yeah.
in a title picture, and she's one of the main reasons why the main roster is fun to watch again.
Yeah. And so, number 1
The elusive top spot.
for the month of September
September Unicorn.
is Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston and Big E, The New Day.
What about
And the trombone.
Also their trombone.
Yeah.
The New Day have been the breakout star of summer 2015.
Yeah.
You know, when they first started the whole vignettes about them coming together, we were all excited.
Yeah.
Because we're like, cool, we've got 3 super talented guys getting ready to start doing something, you know. let's see where this goes. And so many people shit on it right at the beginning.
I mean, I can see it, and I kind of started to see it, but I also knew what... I kind of felt this is what ultimately was going to happen. But what it was that they saw this, you know, smiling, black, dancing team, and that's what we always get with the black wrestlers.
I was okay with it.
I mean, I was okay with it too, because we didn't ever get like a black preacher group before. I mean, we had Reverend Devon, but
that was about the closest we ever got.
He himself was not a group.
No, he had Batista.
Yeah.
Ew.
But, so I could see the complaints, and it was starting to like wear on me when they weren't doing anything and weren't going anywhere. But the brilliance was they started getting real heat.
Yeah.
The crowd started hating them. And I don't know that this was the plan all along to make the New Day what they are today, but I think that's what they were trying to do originally, was let's give the crowd something to hate, something to really hate.
Well, I've heard the story, so I know what the order of the order of situations that led to the heel turn, and we were actually there on probably the defining moment was the night after WrestleMania, when they were teaming with the Lucha Dragons in the 8-man tag match or 10-man tag, whatever it was. It was an 8-man tag, and every time the New Day was in, the crowd would boo.
Yeah.
And they wanted the Lucha Dragons. And it wasn't just because the Lucha Dragons were new and exciting, it was because they legitimately hated the New Day.
Right.
And it was at that point that Xavier Woods was like, Vince, let us do this, let us run with it, and if it doesn't work, then we'll do something different. So that was when they decided to make the heel turn, and it has done nothing but good things from that moment forward. It has been, week after week, more and more funny, exciting, interesting, just captivating television just from 3 guys and a fucking trombone.
Yeah. They are legitimately my favorite act in WWE right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt that no matter what gets advertised for Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, the one thing I'm always thinking in the back of my head is, okay, what are the New Day going to be doing today?
And I'm sure that if you ask anyone when they first debuted, like, hey, how excited are you for the New Day? Or do you realize how excited you're going to be for the New Day in a few months? It would have been like, what are you talking about? Like, why are we going to be excited for the New Day? Like, I enjoyed watching the New Day because I legitimately like all 3 guys on the team. But now that they have this undeniable chemistry together, and they can just turn whatever they're given into gold, it is so much fun.
They can give that gold to Rusev so that he can marry Summer Rae.
They can also make more trombones. They can make a gold trombone instead of just regular brass.
Yeah, and then give that to Rusev.
Put it around his waist.
Because he just wanted a...
He's just going to bend a trombone around his waist. They're going to put a WWE logo, so it's WWE gold.
Yeah, because he just wanted a WWE gold.
Yeah.
He didn't have to.
He didn't specify what it was.
Yeah, I mean, the New Day, the thing about them is, like, I was stoked when I found out that they were going to make Big E, Kofi, and Xavier a stable.
Yeah.
Like, an official stable. Because prior to them being the New Day, they worked, like, 2 on-TV 6-man tags together, and they were always seen, anytime that the roster was together on screen, they were always standing with each other.
Yeah.
They were always seen as a trio backstage, you know.
Just
and they're always trying to, like, kind of poke in, hey, put the 3 of us together, the 3 of us together, make us a thing. And they were trying to pitch the fact that they wanted to be the smart athletic friends.
Yeah.
Which I thought would have been a great gimmick anyways. But
I feel like it wouldn't be that different than what we're getting right now.
Yeah, I think with a name like the Smart Athletic Friends, it would have just been what the New Day is now. They wouldn't have had that face start, or trying to be a baby face start. It would have immediately dove into them being antagonists.
Yeah. Well, it could have been this, but the face version, too.
Yeah.
But it just would have been this whole thing. Anyway, I think we're getting off of whatever point we were making.
We're just gonna sit here and talk about how much we love this
Yeah.
guy.
To close this out, I just want to say that New Day rocks. New Day rocks.
So click those links and comment in the comments. And we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
I just... Yay! Yeah.